Hey, what's up, YouTube? I've been dying to talk about this, and anyway, so last weekend, I went over to my best friend's house and got caught up on The Walking Dead. I was way far behind on the newest season, and then he kind of fast forwarded through the commercials and kind of told me about some of the stuff in episodes, so I was able to get caught up to the most current episode and the last episode of the current season. Now, spoiler alert, and if you guys haven't watched the show, please turn this off right now because I don't want to spoil it because I think the show is great. But anyway, so the show ended up ending with Carl being bit, and I've heard a lot of people complaining and all this different stuff, and they're saying, okay, this is just such a great departure from the comic book. And the thing though is that from the start of the show has departed from the comic book. With Andrea's story arc, with Carol's story arc, with the introduction of Daryl. So I really feel like if they want to, they can still do a good job of making this show great. And then also too is that the actual written books are also different than what happens on the show. So all these different platforms operate independently of each other. So with the show, even though there has been a lot of moments that have just been really, you know, traumatic for people, and people are like, "Oh, I don't want to watch the show anymore." To me, there should be a lot more in store, and I don't want to say this, but I kind of feel like, you know, if I mean, they can't just want to throw the show away. I mean, really, I mean, they could still make a lot of money off the show. They could really tell a good story. They could still feed off some of the plot lines that actually happen in the book to make the show carry on. So I really don't feel like it should be the end of the show. I'm hearing different, I've looked at different videos here on YouTube and people saying this happened, Scott Gimple and Chandler Riggs said this. But to me, this show still does have a lot of potential. And even if they were to kill off a large majority of the main characters, if they had a good storyline, they could justify it. So I know, and see, I know we don't want them jumping into the future to show, a Judith, a teenage Judith and all this stuff. But to me, now is definitely time to start really building on these characters and introducing some other characters that'll kind of distract people from the losses, the losses that we've taken, but from Carl and Glenn. Now, and we knew that Glenn was going to die, so there's no way around that. And a lot of characters, they basically died in the comic book. Actually, in the comic book, there's probably more deaths than there is in the show. But for me, I'm more lenient on the show because I've actually read the comic book and I've read the books. So I'm just like, man, there's so much stuff they could do. But for other people, they're just like, nah, I can't believe that they killed Carl. This show ain't worth a damn now, and all this stuff. So I want to know what you guys think. To me, if you get a chance during this downtime, even if you stopped watching The Walking Dead, now is time to pick up that comic book and check it out, and also read the books. And if you have not read the books and you don't want to read, check them out on Audible. All the Walking Dead books are on Audible, not the comic books. I'm talking about the Road to Woodbury, Rise of the Governor, Seek and Destroy, all those different books, and they're definitely worth checking out. And I think if you listen to those, you can actually, you might think like me and say, hey, there's really a lot more in store for The Walking Dead. Peace out.